Good morning, everybody. It's Norm. It's 6 o'clock in the morning on December 8th. It's 2 degrees outside. There's no wind right now, fortunately. But this is a shot of our 8-foot aluminum tree. It's evergleam, and it's very popular in the late 1950s to early 1960s. It's the original one. We got a beautiful box for it. Beautiful, beautiful tree, very full, 120 branches. And this is the way we decorated it for this year.
Hello, good friends. I'd like to show you around our Christmas decor today. I hope you had a good day, and if you're looking forward to Christmas or some celebration, Norm and I hope that it's going to be a very lovely one with your family. I have lots of fun vintage thrifted things to show you today. Let's go look at some of them close up by starting in the front entrance. Most everything that I decorate with is from a thrift store. I take a lot of pride in finding things really inexpensive. It's so much fun to see what you can do with them. This was like a $1.49 for this really, really big Nutcracker Santa ornament. They had just hung it up, and I took it down as fast as they hung it up. It was pretty big, and the bell wreath was too. And in September, I couldn't believe I found this really, really big, beautiful fruit for on the wall, on your door, or even you could use it for a centerpiece if you weren't putting candles in it, but I was pretty excited to find that. I especially love finding old plastic greenery if it has fruit in it. That's my favorite. Again, this year I put out my lovely brass deer candle holders that I found many years ago. I was so happy when I'd run across different ones. Very fortunate to find them. They were so reasonable. I think at the time I was buying them, there wasn't much interest in brass. It has definitely come back in the past, I don't know if it's been 2-3 years, but I've only kind of been hearing about it more this year. All of these Santa candles I found too many years ago, and also the tiny little rings, candle rings. They're for taper candles, so they're very small. I just found this past summer 2 pair of this very large deer with the really pointy antlers. It's rough when you're trying to polish them. They are kind of sharp, but it was worth it to me. See, these are not so sharp. They're antlers, but boy, these are. So there's one way in back there, way back there, with that guy in it. He's kind of cute. I love his fancy beard. And this is a Father Christmas. These thicker ones, much more figural, are by Robert Allen. And I used to find those fairly easily too. I sure don't see them anymore. They're fancier Father Christmas. And then I found a pair of these really cute reindeer. He's got a sign that says Merry Christmas. So there's 2 of those. I really love adding the extra little touches of greenery. with those little tiny taper candle rings. So there's another one that's really got sharp antlers. And then one in back there. I was kind of surprised to find them when, for years, I was really only finding this style. They're much smaller. And this style here, it's a pair where the one is lying down more, and the other one that goes with it in back there is standing up. So that's a pair. And then I used to find these easier too, the really tiny ones. Really little. And this was a relative who is now gone. She had this tablecloth, and I inherited that after she passed away. I've used it every year because it just seems so perfect with the deer on it. There's a lot of little tiny deer in the center, as you can see. Not just this one big one in front, but on the borders down there too. Very old little square tablecloth. And I found this last year too, and I did show it in my last year's Christmas video. It's a really fancy, elaborate reindeer or caribou. It is so neat, a covered dish. But I really do enjoy these every year. I know, as I say, I showed it to you last year, the candles, but they're just so fun to see for the month of December. And up here, Norm hung up the garland for me. That's a bit of a trick. It's an old garland. The poinsettias, the big ones up there, are extra pieces that we added. And these little bell ornaments are extra. Those are very soft, very sweet little ornaments. This year, since we have this shadow box added, a vintage 1950s shadow box that was kind of a mahogany stain, Norm took it all apart and cleaned it up real nice and spray painted it an antique gold for me, because I wanted it to not be too loud out here or too dark. I think it blends nicely with the wall. And he put a new mirror on it, so the other one was pretty wavy. So it was real fun for him to try to hang that up. I had to help him by holding on to the bottom of it. It's very, very heavy, but we did it. We're very happy with it. And now I have a lot more room to put some fun vintage things on it for the holidays and seasons. So what I decided for Christmas this year was to take out all the little chalkware angels. There are some that are ceramic, maybe just one, the green one down there. They're very cute. So that's the ceramic one. I love the beaded ornaments too. Let me turn her little light on. Okay, she looks a bit better now. Wouldn't you know, the red candle I had in there didn't work. So I do enjoy the beaded candles. There's two big ones on top here, one on each side. And these little angels are actually candle holders, one on each side. And there's a nativity that is a pretty good size one. We have a lot of little tiny ones too, but They maybe were meant to be ornaments also. They're about the size of ornaments, but these are pretty big. And she is very soft plastic. So, and she's open on the bottom, so she may have been meant to be a tree topper. I always thought she was pretty cute. This one's slightly different than that one over there. So that's what the shadow box looks like. It's always fun when you walk in our service door over here to the right to look at some fun vintage things. Well, here in the living room, on a little end table, an old Santa mug, an old doily, a fun little arrangement of some candy. That's a challenge to get those candy canes just right. You gotta have a lot of patience. And I had this one shown last year. It was actually one of my thumbnails. I found that in an antique shop where they're so reasonable all the time. And I think he was only like $12. It's a music box inside the bag too. I love his slightly bald head. So cute. And Norm said he thought that I did a good job on his floor lamp. Vintage milk glass floor lamp that he thrifted for, oh, I don't know, it was what, $16 or less? It was crazy. There was a big sale that day on that particular colored sticker, and he fixed it all up. He rewired it. We went and got as a matter of fact, it didn't have the shade. We thrifted that shade for $4, and that's a moon and stars pattern. So yeah, isn't that crazy? I kind of forgot it was a year ago, more than a year ago. So I forgot that we found that shade separately. I spotted it and I thought, oh my goodness, I know that is moon and stars. I can't believe that's here in the thrift store sitting by itself, because the lamp was at a totally different thrift store. But it is a beauty, and we do have it in a thrift haul where Norm tells you all about it. It isn't quite mid-century modern to me, but it'll do. I like our Starburst clock very much. It's one of the bigger ones by Elgin. It's still ticking away. I just found this at the thrift store. I could not believe it. I think it might have been $3.49, something like that. Yeah, really, really nice condition. There was one little chip on his hat and on the boy's boot, and I touched him up, and it's musical. And I found these two little children carolers, chalkware, this year. I think maybe it was after Christmas that I happened to find those, because I did not show them last Christmas. I did show her. She's thrifted. Beautiful porcelain Victorian lady. She goes pretty well with the kids. And I've had this crazy thing for many, many years. It was pink ceramic. Pottery. I'd call that pottery. California pottery in your typical 50s pink. And it got broke, unfortunately. And I thought, well, since it got broke and I had to try to patch it all up, I asked Norm if he'd spray paint it for me, because I really wasn't all that interested in having pink out here. I had this in my bedroom for a very long time. And there are videos that we put out that showed my bedroom in years past. So I thought I would put it out for Christmas this year and put some of the fun fruity and pine and berry and yeah, very nice. Some of my mini pieces of candle rings that I have cut in half so I can put in things like this, because I just won't be using them for candle rings. So I thought that would be something different to show you here. This year I wanted Norm to put all red ornaments on it. We've kind of done that every other year. If you want to see all of our sweet little vintage ornaments, we do have in our last year's videos, lots of them on the tree there. I don't know, there might be some clips where we just did end up showing the tree with all red on it. I really love this look too, even though I have so much fun with all the sweet little ones like these beaded skaters. They're still in there. There's a little wagon back there. Norm loves this one. That's one of his favorites. And we do have plenty of beaded ones. There's a long one there, pearl and red and gold. There's a really sweet little flocked and sequined Mrs. Claus, maybe, huh? Another skater down there. She's got her back to us now. And there's always old plastic ones like these little bells. I think we have quite a few of those. But yes, we did buy some new ones with the snowflakes on them. And that is translucent, glittery, snowy swirls. Oh, there's a skater. No, yeah, it could be. Nah, that's just a cute girl. There's no skates on the bottom of her feet. There's a really crazy, crazy long Santa in plastic. And I love these back here. The tree's getting away from me. There, the light shining on it. They're plastic. Very starburst. Here's one of the crazy girls. Just a Santa. This is a very lovely beaded one. Norm never got into the beaded ones, of course. He does kind of like the skaters. He thinks they're cute too. But I started buying any beaded ornaments I could find years ago. I like this. This is a really neat plastic star. And I honestly don't know anything to explain much with the tops of ornaments. I love these little lanterns too in plastic. They call those diorama when they have a... I don't know that the mirror has anything to do with that, being called diorama. Maybe it just means that it's enclosed. You're looking into something. I'll have to look up that term. I think we're back to where we were. Here's one of the little crazy girls with a ponytail that got all the way. She's got her other leg back there. We love our aluminum tree very much. I'm so glad that Norm doesn't mind putting it together and putting the spotlights out. Last year, pretty much, we started finding in thrift stores a lot of these tins that were vehicles. And if you find them in an antique shop, they're getting a little pricey. There's 2 boats down there, which Norm absolutely loves. I'm going to sit down in the chair here. And, well, that's not a boat there, the blue one. That's got wheels on it, but there's one back there that says Seahawk. I can get closer to that. But a lot of them are these little old trolley cars. There's a drum one back there, and I don't know, Hershey's trucks, milk trucks, train, engine, very big taxi, and we have a very big police car too. Yeah, that was over by the boat there. I'll go over by the boat. There's the police car. He's running into the other car here. I think he's trying to stop them from speeding. I forget what you call that maneuver. But here's the Seahawk, and I'm getting an awful lot of light, sorry, from the spotlights here on the floor, but aren't they funny? These people, they're so funny. Oh, sorry, there's too much glare. And then we like to put the tins we have, the old tins, underneath here too. They're always fun to look at. Over there in the corner, I weakened and bought from a thrift store this Rudolph made out of wood. I've always wanted one of those, and I just wouldn't buy it from an antique shop, but I thought, well, since he's so cheap at this thrift store, I just thought I gotta get him. I put a new bow on him, and I'm going to go get a much better pom-pom for his nose, because this, I shouldn't say it was Rudolph, his pom-pom was orange, and the bow was much more fall-like. So I don't know why anybody had something like that for fall, but I'm going to get a new pom-pom eventually. But I thought he was so cute. In really good condition, except for the bow. I thrifted 2 different soft little throws with snowflakes on them, red with snowflakes, and I just love them. I have to put something over our chair all year long, even if it's just draped over one side on the right here, because the sun comes in the windows and I don't want our new chair to fade on one side. So I always have one of these little soft throws just hanging over the side, at least, to keep it protected. But it's very cute anyways to have something colorful, and it protects your whole chair. Norm occasionally sits over there and watches for the mailman. Actually, she's a woman. Very nice lady. And I just found this pillow for 99 cents. It is adorable. So soft. Oh, it's just so soft and fluffy and sweet. And I washed it already. I have a wonderful washer, gentle cycle. And it turned out just beautiful. So I was thrilled. I couldn't pass up that sweet face for 99 cents. So let's see what we got over here. We ended up taking the TV away for now because the tree is taking up so much space. We had our little TV over here, the vintage Setchel Carlson portable TV. So we put this rack over here to put some books on, and I thrifted that great big deer head and the red drip glaze fancy pottery piece at the Goodwill last year, and that piece. And this was from an antique shop, the large planter, thrifted glass, A lot of course, the milk glass. I did find some at thrift stores, but I was so crazy about milk glass. A few years ago, I started collecting it, so I was getting it very reasonable. But I did find it in antique shops around here and in Wisconsin. Really good prices compared to now. And I started collecting footed pottery, green planters in either the rich green for Christmas time or olive green for fall or even in the spring. Goes nice. So I've ended up with quite a collection of footed vintage planters. I just love them. So I did take one of our 1968 lucite poinsettia, I don't know what you'd call it, decoration. It stands on its own. It's got a little footed stand on it, like I'll show you up here. They all look like that on the bottom. But this is kind of a much wider piece. Some of them are real wide and some are narrower. You can see there's only 2 flowers on this one, so it's a narrower one. It fit just perfectly in that pot. I love my little planter, and I forgot to put a little piece of greenery in her. She's a beautiful dove, California pottery, I assume. Just love it. I found it last year. Found this gorgeous candle or vase, candle holder, I don't know. This crazy green vase was from my brother's house. I have to get behind a chair over here to tell you and show you about this tall red one. I don't know who made this green vase. I didn't ask my brother. I mean, he just wanted me to bring some things home to our house. And so I did choose this vase. It is really, really unusual, isn't it? The top is a very unusual shape. And I found this at the thrift store just this month, early in December. It is the craziest thing I've ever seen, and it was, so cheap to begin with, but we had 35% discount. It's a hobbyist piece, and I just went nuts. Norm thought I was crazy, of course. Let me take the flower out of there. I really don't know what you would use this for. You could put a candle in it, I suppose, if you want. It's just the weirdest piece of hobbyist ceramic I've ever seen, but I love it because I like really kooky things. It's quite dripped with a green and white. Isn't that absolutely crazy? Oh, I thought it was so neat. And to think we were on a what they call a traveling sale, road trip sale. Yeah, road trip sale for Family Pathways. And by the time we got to this last store, I found this for just I think it might have been like $5, $4.99, something like that, but and then getting 35% off. So I did have a candle in there at first, but that looks nice too. I know it's crazy, but I love it. So up here, just put some red and white and 2 gold pieces. And up there, more milk glass and a poinsettia. And same on the other side. Down here is a thrifted rug and all of those tins. All the different styles of little tin soldiers. And thrifted candle holders, not the candles. They are red candles. I wish they didn't burn with the orange top on them, but maybe that's the way it is with all those battery operated candles, or any red candle. If it got that thin on top, I suppose it would start looking more orange, but the fire's orange, so that's okay. Up here, I thrifted these 2 deer planters. Is one on each end, and I believe they're new, because I've seen other animals like that in the Goodwill. So if there's multiples, then I figure they must be new. And I found those bookends maybe in an antique shop, really, really inexpensive. There's one of the bigger poinsettias, and I did this last year with milk glass. I just love it, and so does Norm. But I do have a different setup in the middle, and I do have different candle holders too. The covered candy dishes are the same as what I had here last year. They're pretty. It's kind of nice to have the same one on each side, since you're matching with your candle holders. But the big candle holders in back, I don't think I had these out here. I might have, but I had some with a much spikier, lacy bottom on them than these, I believe. So these are a new purchase in an antique shop. I think they were $18 for the pair. I was very happy that Norm was willing to get them for me. They're just beautiful. I liked them much better than the tall ones that I had here last year. They had a huge base on them. That was one of the reasons why I didn't like them, and I think they were diamond point pattern, so they weren't as fancy as these are. You'd probably call this more of a thumbprint. I'm not an expert, but that's what I'm guessing. And these are just adorable. This little pair of mice. I think I found those last year. So sweet. I've had these green lucite candles for many, many years. And what's different is this set of compotes. From the very large one I found last in an antique shop. But I had found these other 2 pieces separately, and they all match. It is a set. So Norm said he liked that. Before, I had a punch bowl base at the bottom with fruit on it in milk glass, and then a huge swung milk glass vase that is most likely up there in the corner, or the other side. One of them that was really tall. That's what I had on top of that punch bowl stand, and that poinsettia in the top of the vase. So this is a little different. And these 2 mice I think are adorable. I found them like a year or 2 apart. They are by Avon. Couple dollars a piece probably, or less. And here's a Holt Howard candle huggers. He's toasting the new year, probably. They both look like they've had a little too much. They're snowmen. I don't know why they're wearing a tree on their head, but he's got a cup in his hand too. So that is a repeat over here. But down here I want to show you my biggest milk glass piece. Absolutely love this. We found it at Rogers Antique Mall in Rogers, Minnesota. It's got to be one of our top places that we love. It's probably Westmoreland, but boy, is that big. Really, really big. This was thrifted for very little, at Bibles for Missions last year. It was 50% off because, or even more, it was after Christmas. It's not musical or anything. And I'm not sure, maybe it is a good brand on the bottom that I didn't think to look at. But isn't that sweet? I just loved it because it was in all white and went so nice with the milk glass. Yep. Couple of fun deer. Last year, I think I found those last year. That was a thrifted horse from the Goodwill several years ago. Thrifted bird. Antique mall horse. Weeping gold, that's called. Weeping gold, I just love that horse. Found this little guy for, I think he was a couple dollars in a Goodwill. And he's pretty well known, and I've seen it in antique shops. This was a lusterware horse that I thrifted. Horses figurine at the Goodwill. Had a coupon, so I got them pretty reasonable. And there was a couple little tiny chips here and there, but I didn't want gray. I asked Norm to spray paint it. He did a pretty good job. I could put some gold accents on it if I ever find a really good quality gold paint. I would definitely put eyes on it and maybe do the hooves. Maybe a little bit on the mane and the tail, but that would be about it. There's some of my swung vases up there. Thrifted gold vase. The red glass piece here is thrifted. So pretty. Very surprised to find that. So let's go look at my angels up there. This year on the coffee table, I decided to put the white deer that are all thrifted, put them out, and I did add a ribbon to that very plain one. And this one over here, I do have a gold bow on him with a little bit of red. This beauty came with its own beautiful garland around its neck. So pretty. And then just added 4 large milk glass serving plates with smaller ones on top, and then some of my vintage garland pieces. They're from candle rings again that I've cut in half. So that's what I decided to do because I was putting so much milk glass in here. Again. Let's go look over there. Each year I have continued to put white candles in. I do change them to green ones or orange ones or red ones, but for Christmas, because I have these sweet little thrifted huggers, these 2 are odd. They're not a pair, but they're very cute. So these are also little thrifted paper candle rings. I would prefer to have something else here for sconces, but Norm's pretty stuck on these starburst ones. He likes them. It's one of the very first things we purchased way back when we decided we wanted a real fun retro look in here. And this is the other thrifted soft throw. And I ordered those 2 pillowcases online, just the pillowcases. Some lady makes a lot of them. She did a good job. So what I did was go with milk glass this year. Last year I had all the cute angels on here that were out in the front entrance. So I was happy to have another shadow box to be able to show those little angels out there and then do something in here with my milk glass. So I thought it was appropriate to use the swans that I've collected over many years and put some greenery in there with them. And the 2 partridge up there are Avon perfume bottles. And my brother had that really pretty red glass votive in the middle. I like all the little miniature hobnail vases by Fenton. I sure enjoy having a pair of things. The only thing I didn't have a pair of for this particular display is the vases, and that's fine. They're very similar. Same size, so that worked out good. Norm likes that look too, with the milk glass. Mr. and Mrs. Claus huggers. The candles are pretty straight. Seems like however you're tilting your phone, it can make a difference. Down here is one of Norm's candles. It's a hard plastic. This is not a blow mold, but he likes it for ambiance in the morning. And a thrifted candle ring works good on it. It's much redder, the candle. Don't know why it comes out pink, but it does. We wish you and yours a very blessed Christmas celebration, or what holiday you do celebrate. Some of you may be looking at this way past Christmas or way before Christmas. That's wonderful too. We thank you so much for your wonderful support and super nice comments. You are all so fun. We really, really appreciate you writing to us and telling us about the things you like. It's very fun to read them. Please forgive me for not getting back to all of you. I try, but my life is very full right now. We are going to have my brother move in with us on Christmas Eve. He needs our care right now, and he is willing to be with us, so we think that's a good thing. We hope to keep him strong. So bless you all, and thank you again for your kindness. Bye now.